Good morning, my partners. At last class, we studied about the mission, organization, functions, technical material, explosive of the EXDE Delta team, and guide for the procedure of this group and the explosives in Colombia. Today, we will study about the frequencies activator in VHF and UHF. This equipment is the most used by the anti-explosive groups EXDE Delta and Marte to counteract criminal actions with mines and other explosive devices used by terrorists with remote control activation and the ease they have to acquire the basic components for this type of terrorist actions. All you need is line of sight to the rover. This activation can be done up to 500 meters away. For this type of radio frequency activation, these terrorists are using radio equipment that operates in the 2-meter band, similar to those they use in their internal communications. Therefore, the same radio equipment that they use for their communications can be used to activate the IEDs. Type of bands used by terrorists, but what are the AM or UHF and VHF FM bands? AM and FM in the world of broadcasting are acronyms that refer to two ways of moderating the carrier wave of electrical signals. AM stands for amplitude modulator. It means amplitude modulator, AM, while FM stands for frequency modulator. For example, in modulator frequency, one station transmits on 101.1 megahertz. That is 101.100 kilohertz. And the next transmits on 101.3 megahertz. It means 101.300 kilohertz. This means that between one channel and another, there are 200 kilohertz free. In addition, it allows to send a double signal, that is, a stereo signal. So the types of bands used by the terrorists are VHF and UHF bands. In VHF, the terrorist groups in Colombia are using this band as receivers that cover the frequency range from 136 megahertz to 174 megahertz without any modification, used by them for their radio communications. And in UHF band, the radio equipment such as FRS, Family Radio Type Service, for its acronym in English, which work in the UHF band between 462 and 470 megahertz, and which have 22 channels. That is, 22 fixed frequencies, and also have 130 tones, which save channels that allows up to 2,860 different combinations in radius of 2 meters in VHF band, like this that you can appreciate in your screens in this moment. are radios or commercial radios, common radios. This is one IED activated by frequency. In VHF, 136 to 147 megahertz, and in UHF from 466 to 467 megahertz. Additionally, tones in dual tones multi-frequency in GTMF. This is other case where one IEG was activated by frequency. IEG of high power, called in Colombia like phantom bomb or mine phantom, because all around this is disappear in the moment of the explosion. Your bottle or his bottle is by cylinder types, are different elements found in the ground. In Colombia, this is called handmade elements. So the detonator is a handmade electrical element. The ignition system is electrical because it's connected with wires. And the activation system is by frequencies in UHF or VHF. Depend on the terrorist. The explosive is improvised too. In this case was Air 1, a little of pentolite and TNT. Your weight approximately was 50 kilograms. You can see the bottles can or maybe in metal or in plastic bottles that contains the explosive. And you can see in your screens common radios, radios Motorola mark that is acquired commercially and easy way on the street or in malls. And this is the activator of frequencies in VHF and UHF frequencies. Your working is by or through different methods for their detonation. This equipment has the capacity to transmit waves in VHF frequencies and UHF frequencies in the commercial bands. The central system of the equipment is based on a programming code through a microcontroller, in which some modulation techniques and frequency tuning algorithms are used, where the equipment manages to sweep during the predetermined time in the solver basin. The components are the transmitter equipment. This is the activator frequencies. This is the power supply of 13 period 8 volts with 2 fans, no more. Other components are 2 antennas for VHF and UHF transmission. Those are the wires in AC and DC power. And this is the portable power plant of 1 kilovolts with low sound in 4-stroke engine. So the power supply is a Pelican mark, a Pelican brand briefcase that contains a 12-volt source. It is powered directly from the electrical plant. It has only one power button on the left side of the unit and a green power LED. Only a green power LED. To operate the source, only the operator must press the power button. The fans will immediately turn on and the green LED show light up, indicating that the source is operating normally. So this is the activator, control unit, and amplifier buttons and indicators. So in the first place, we have the button to stop the operation. In the second, we have the port for the software of actualization for your information or your update in the case that the activator presenting or present problems. In the third place, we have the display. The next one is the keyboard. And in the place 5, 6, 7, 8, we have the ports or the connectors for the antennas in VHF and UHF transmission. And in the ninth place, we have the 2 fans for the refrigeration. So in this part, we have the explanation element by element. In the first place, we have the stop button. This button allows the operator to stop the operation of the equipment at any time. After pressing on the display, the operator will see if he wishes to exit or continue. If the operator decides to continue, the equipment will continue operating from where it was. If he decides to exit, the team will stop. In the second place, we have the external programming port. This connection allows the operator to reprogram or update the equipment without having to uncover it. This programming is provided by us and only requires one cable. In the third place, we have the display. This item allows the operator to view the operation status of the equipment step by step. The operator is guided through the procedure in the same way. It will be possible to see the alarms generated by the equipment and the possible faults that may occur. In this screen, in this display. In the fourth place, we have the keyboard. This element allows the operator to interact with the equipment. From here, the operator will choose the action that he considers pertinent during the operation. In the fifth place, we have the connector for the UHF antenna. This is the connector for the UHF antenna. And this is the LED for this connector. Indicates that the antenna is transmitting normally. This connector allows the operator to connect the UHF antenna and the UHF cable for this antenna that is designed to connect in this connector. So in the sixth place, we have the LED for UHF. When this LED is on, it indicates to the operator that the amplifier is transmitting on the UHF frequency. In the seventh place, we have the LED for VHF. When this LED is on, it indicates to the operator that the amplifier is transmitting on the VHF frequency with normal. In the eighth place, we have the connector for the VHF antenna. This connector allows the operator to connect the VHF antenna, and the VHF antenna cable is designed so that it can only be connected to this connector. In the ninth place, we have the fans. These are the cooling elements of the amplification unit. In the event of a problem with these fans, the operator will be informed by the equipment through the display, and the equipment will automatically suspend its operation. This is the LED for the fans that indicates that the fan is working normally. In the 10th place, we have the bottom test. This bottom of 3 positions allows the operator to view the following. With the bottom in position up, check voltages of 5 and 12 volts. With the bottom in middle position, the switch off no lighting. With the bottom in position down, check display lighting, amplifier on, AMP on, and transmission. The transmission is okay. The TX is okay. In this way. This LED is for the transmission, and this switch, this interrupter, is for the test. In the place 11, we have the LED for the amperage, and this LED must be in on, turn on all time. When this LED turn on when doing the test, it indicates that the amplifier is working correctly. These LEDs for 12 volt and for 5 volts. So the LED TX, when this LED is turned off when doing the test, it indicates that the equipment transmits correctly. When the LED is lighting, number 13, this LED indicates that the activator is transmitting in 12 volts. And when the LED number 14 is turned on, The activator indicates that this equipment is transmitting in 5 volts and the operation in 12 or 5 volts is okay. So this is the diagram or drawing for the installation and assembly of the activator of frequencies. And first, we turn on the power plant and connect the power supply. After that, we connect to the power supply the activator. But we need to make an account one thing. This activator do not or doesn't be turned on without the antennas because the activator can suffer damages, irreparables, damages very complicated, and for this reason is necessary first put the antennas in both connectors. Warning: never operate the equipment without the antennas as it will suffer irreparable damage. When turning on the equipment, if the green AM on and blue GX LED are not on, the equipment will not operate. When sweeping is started, the blue GX LED must go off and will only light when the frequency changes. If this LED remains on during the sweeping, the equipment is not operating correctly. Verify that the VHF or UHF indicator LEDs near the respective antenna connectors is on and corresponds to the sweep range being worked. If the fans do not turn on, do not operate the equipment as it will be damaged. This is the equipment operation. Initially, connect the equipment as is indicated in the diagram 1, installation and assembly drawing, like this. First, the power plant. Second, the power supply. Third, the activator. But before turn on all equipments, you must connect the antennas. Please connect the antennas in the first place. After assembly, you can proceed to turn on the equipment, verifying that all the connections are correct. The equipment is very easy to operate and its operation is based on menus, which guide the operator through the configuration of the equipment. Initially, the system will do an internal check and the following screens will appear among others. Checking the system, checking port VHF, 30 watts, and checking the fans. After checking the system, if the equipment is in working order, the following screen will appear. System OK. This indicates that the system is operable. If any of the tests does not pass, the system will not come into operation and must be sent to the factory for review or maintenance. When it is operational, the following screen will appear. National Army of Colombia, version 2.111, and please pulse the bottom 5 in the keyboard for continue. To continue. The operator will press K5 to start the operation. VHF operation with white noise. What meaning white noise? What is white noise? White noise is when the equipment doesn't produce sounds. It's in silence. The operation is in silence, okay? So the operator must choose which valve he wishes to strip and may choose the following. After choosing the VHF band, the transmission method menu will appear and you must choose. In the first option, we have the white noise, and in the second option, we have the dual tones multi-frequencies. It means that the sounds is working in all time in the equipment. If the operator chooses with noise, he should proceed to choose the with noise transmission time, where one option is 30 seconds and the second option is during 60 seconds. After choosing the transmission time, the operator must choose the scanning algorithm as follows. Algorithm of sweeping in option 1, 10 kilohertz. In option 2, 15 kilohertz. VHF operation with white noise. After choosing the algorithm, the operator must choose the range that he wants to cover in this way. Range, for example, in the first option is from 136 megahertz to 142 megahertz. In the option 2, other range 3, 4, 5, and 6. The range that you prefer. After choosing the range, the equipment will start its operation and the operator will have to wait for the test to finish and the following display will appear. Time of transmission, 10 seconds. Time of operation, 1 hour, 43 minutes. The potence, the power is 11 watts, and the frequency that we work is 136,000 megahertz. In this point, the equipment begins to operate. In this display, the operator will know the frequency, the power, the transmission time, and the remaining time of the test. VHF operation with dual tone multi-frequency tones. This indicates that the system is operable. If any of the tests doesn't pass, the system will not enter into operation and must be sent to the factory for review. When it is operational, the following screen will appear. Checking the system, checking the port in VHF, 30 watts, system OK, checking the fans, and the display appear will follow. National Army of Colombia, version 211, and please the operator press the 5 key to continue. So the V-shaped operation with dual tones multi-frequencies is as follows. The operator will press the 5 key to start operation and will ask you to indicate which band you want to sweep and will be able to choose the next ones in VHF or UHF frequencies. So the sweeping mode. And the way of transmission may be in white noise or in dual tone multi-frequencies or sounds. After choosing the VHF band, the transmission mode menu will appear and you must choose VHF operation with dual tone multi-frequencies. If the operator chooses DTMF, then he must directly choose the scanning algorithm, like this way. In the first option, we have the 10 kilohertz, and the second option, we have the 15 kilohertz. After choosing the algorithm, the operator must choose the range that he wants to cover. After choosing the range, the equipment will start its operation and the operator will have to wait for the test to finish. UHF operation with white noise. Checking system OK, checking fans, and National Army. The operation in this band is very similar to the previous operations. Only the operator must take into account the channels at node frequencies to be swept. As in the other test, the equipment will always start with the screen up here. UHF operation with white noise. The operator will press the 5 key to start operation and will ask you to indicate which band you want to sweep and will be able to choose the next ones. After choosing the UHF band, the transmission method menu will appear and you must choose. If the operator chooses white noise, he should proceed to choose the white noise transmission time, where the first option is 30 seconds and the second is 60 seconds. After choosing the algorithm, the operator must choose the sweep channel that he wishes to cover. Channels number 1, 15 to 2 algorithms. After choosing the range, the equipment will start its operation and the operator will have to wait for the test to finish. The operation in this band is very similar to the previous operations. Only the operator must take into account the channels and not the frequencies to be swept. As in the other tests, the equipment will always start with the auto tests. Operation in UHF with dual tones multi-frequencies. In DTMF, the operator will press the 5 key to start operation and will ask him to indicate which band he wishes to sweep. After choosing the UHF band, the transmission method menu will appear and you must choose. If the operator chooses DTMF, he should proceed to choose the range of channels on the display as it appears in the image, in the picture. The system can be stopped at any time. For this reason, the operator must press the stop button. After pressing the button, two options will appear: continue or exit. In this display, the operator will know the channel, tone, power, and remaining time of the tests. Safety measures with the improvised explosive device activator. Before, go to a sector previously registered by an EXDE team. Alert the troops near the sector so that they do not inhabit places where IED contamination is presumed by radio frequency. In the event of a storm, do not start scanning as the antenna receives electrical discharges or rays. The site must be secured for at least 72 hours continuously. That is the scan time. Point the antennas towards the target and avoid letting tree branches touch the antennas. Avoid the soldiers' personnel approaching the antennas as it can be harmful to health. Avoid exposing the equipment to sunlight or rain. Be careful when filling the power plant with fuel. Remember that gases can produce combustion. This equipment comes equipped with a self-checking software for both power and ventilation. Therefore, if it has a fault, it will manifest it through the display. Avoid bending, twisting, or stepping on the coaxial cable of the antennas. After each sweep branch, let the plant cool down. The oil must be changed every 8 hours. The air filter should be cleaned every 72 hours and the spark plug should be changed every 200 hours. The fans of the equipment must be free so that it doesn't overheat. If the plant is shut down due to catalysis or damage to the plant, shut down the equipment. Check the plant. The sweep will not be lost as the software saves the frequency where the sweep was interrupted or cut. Safety measures during. The power supply case must remain open during operation. During the sweep, check with the test radius the operation of the same. If the blue light remains on during the scan, it is not transmitting or operating normally. When the equipment detonates a charge, stop the sweep, locate the approximate coordinates and frequency to review after the procedure. If the equipment presents any failure, the failure must be reported to evacuate and take the equipment to technical service. And after, safety measures after each sweep, the status of the power plant must be verified. At the end of each sweep, the equipment automatically checks itself to guarantee the effectiveness of the operation. Do not leave the equipment installed, disassemble or disassemble and stored in a safe place. This is all for our instruction today, my partners. In the case of someone has a question for me, please write it in the group chat or in the WhatsApp chat, and I answer for you the questions immediately. Thank you very much for your attention, and I see you later.